The next ETF that I'm adding more of, I already own it and it's up 50% in 2026 alone, ticker UFO. In this video, we're going to be breaking down this growth ETF, and it has been quite a monster. I'm going to talk about why I believe this ETF has a ton of potential over the next decade. This is not simply a short-term play for me. You could play it as that if you wanted to, but for me, this is a long-term hold. I'll explain why and break down this ETF for you guys. If you don't know who I am, my name is Spencer. I've amassed nearly 75,000 followers across social media talking about ETFs, both growth and income. And on this channel, you're looking at my growth, Spencer Invest Beginner Investing. So we're going to break down this ETF for beginners. If you've never bought this ETF, if you don't understand how it works, we're going to talk about that all throughout this video. So don't forget, if you're interested in ETFs and learning more and hopefully making more money in the stock market, to like the video and to subscribe. And now let's talk about UFO. They went all out in the description of this fund. Since the beginning of humankind, our ancestors have looked to the skies with immense curiosity in search of answers. Space has always captured human interest, and that's really, really true. And recently, we have seen a boom in anything really relating to space from a number of reasons as well. People are talking about putting real estate up there, living on the moon, living on Mars, putting data centers in space, SpaceX with all their satellites and their ability to connect you to Wi-Fi anywhere on the Earth, almost anywhere. So space has taken off. And like I said, this is a long-term play for me because I'm curious to see how this pans out. So this is going to track an index, the Verify Space Index. And what they do is they're going to have 51 holdings, which is a decent amount. Usually when these ETFs have like 5 to 10 holdings are the number of underlying stocks within an ETF. It's like, just buy those holdings instead and save yourself the fee. But 51 is quite a bit. Now, the expense ratio is 0.75%. So that's going to be how much you are paying to hold this ETF. And you might wonder, well, why can't I just buy all 51 holdings? And you could do that. But one of the ways that these ETFs really help retail investors is they will shift the amounts of money in each position depending on its performance. So especially if one of these, like one of the holdings is Rocket Lab, it's done extremely, extremely well, but it would grow to be too big of a position and not be equally weighted. So they will trim it down and put that money into some that have fallen. And that's kind of the goal with these ETFs. You get some diversification and they do a lot of the rebalancing is the term that we use. Now, the net assets, it's huge, $864 million. This is not a small ETF, but I will say this is probably a risky ETF. I mean, anything that's up 50% year to date, I would look at as having more risk than something that's been trading pretty typically. But there are a lot of pros outside of that with this ETF. For one, you get a lot of diversification. And I'll show you guys that in just a moment when we look at the comparison between UFO and something like the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500. But there is more to discuss. Performance, it's up 128% since inception. Year to date, they have it at 33%. This is as of late last month. We have seen it run even more since then. And there's tons of information on here. So I recommend checking out the website if you're interested in buying. But we can take a look at the holdings. Number one is Rocket Lab, which this is the name of the corporation, the company. Then we can see the total net asset, basically how much of this fund is invested into each of these holdings. So Rocket Lab is the largest at near 7%. Then you have the tickers, shares held, and market value, the amount of money in each. Now, 7% is quite a bit. It's not terrible, but they have a lot in Rocket Lab, in Planets Lab, in Viasat, in EcoStar, in Global Star, Sirius XM Holdings, which is that radio, which is so funny because they tried to get me to sign up once and they never let it go. And then Firefly. They have a lot of holdings in here that technically I'm not even familiar with. I may have seen a lot of the tickers and whatnot around, but I'm definitely not an expert. But that's the beauty of this style of ETF. You don't have to be an expert. You can just get yourself exposure to a specific sector. So like I said earlier, I believe long-term in space. I also believe long-term in energy, nuclear energy to be exact. So I can just buy something like NUKZ, and that's Nukes ETF that focuses on nuclear energy. I don't have to be an expert in all the different caveats of nuclear energy or all the different caveats of space. I can just hold an ETF for it. And that's why these ETFs are so amazing. So these are this is just the breakdown of the holdings. Now we're going to compare the price performance of UFO to the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, and let's see if there's overlap with the top holdings. Using stock analysis, we're going to compare these three ETFs, the pros and cons, but I wanted to give a shout out to Stock Analysis. I am an affiliate, meaning when you guys sign up with my link, it does help support the channel. Now you can do that down below, and in return, they've given my viewers an exclusive 20% off and a free month of the pro version. You have to use my link down below and the code Spencer20. Now there's limited spots, and that's going to be pulled soon because they're giving away a lot of free months. So check that out if you guys are interested. We're using the ETF screener tool. So all of these are plugged in and we're on the year to date. So the start of the year 2026, this is the price performance we've seen from these ETFs. SPY is up 8.62%, which is good. I am not complaining at all. QQQ is up 15.02%, which is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And UFO is up 49%. 49% in half a year. That kind of blows my mind. But the thing is, you have to understand that this is not as diversified as a NASDAQ or an S&P ETF. UFO has 51 holdings versus 100 of the NASDAQ 100 and 500 of the S&P 500. So when one does well, it can really launch the ETF. But if one were to pull back, you would see a much bigger impact in comparison to something with more holdings. Now, there's another piece to that though, because if we're looking at UFO compared to the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, you're not going to see a lot of crossover. You're going to see a lot of different companies. And that's something that S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100 ETFs aren't great at. You can see NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, MU, Broadcom, Tesla, AMD, Meta. These are all big names within each of these ETFs. UFO doesn't hold any of them. Maybe they do once you get farther and farther down. But what we're looking at now, it doesn't hold them. And so you're going to, even if you are less diversified within this one ETF, you do have more diversification than if you were to just buy more of the S&P 500 and more of the NASDAQ 100. Because again, the top holdings, I love that Seeking Alpha does this. The percentages are pretty crazy. I mean, NVIDIA is nearly 10%, 9.5% of QQQ, and 8.5% of SPY. So you might think you're buying a diversified basket, but you're really buying a lot of Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, I should say, and NVIDIA. But there's pros and cons to each of that. If we zoom out a little bit, let's see, we'll go to max, and we can see that UFO has underperformed. It has underperformed since its inception in 2019, and it underperformed by quite a crazy margin, 25%. At the worst, we saw QQQ and SPY up 131% and QQQ up 131, SPY up 86, and UFO down 34%. But since the space run has been happening, UFO has steadily outperformed. Now, is this going to outperform consistently forever? I have no idea. No one truly knows that. If space were to really take off, I could see it outperforming indefinitely, but it's really hard to gauge that. And we could be due for a pullback. But it is so interesting seeing the performance of these. And you start to see late 2020, 2025, UFO just starts to take off. Now, if we want to cherry pick, we can go just 1 year ago. You'd be up 26% on SPY. You'd be up 36% on the NASDAQ, which is absolutely amazing. But with UFO, you'd be up 133.5%. And that's why people absolutely love these style of sector ETFs. If you can get in the right timing, you can make crazy returns. Now we're going to pull up the top 5 holdings of UFO, and we'll take a look and see how they correlate to UFO's price performance. And also, should we just hold those 5 stocks instead of UFO? Year to date, this performance is insane. So we have Rocket Lab that's up 88% year to date with a crazy jump from May 7. It went from being up, what was this, 12.5% to a run where it was now up 90%. We have PL Planet Labs. That one is up over 110%. Looks like 111%. We have VSAT up 107.5%. We have SATS, which is up 25%. It's 25.5%. The worst performer on this list year to date. And GSAT, which is up almost 34%. So even the worst performers are still outperforming the indexes quite handsomely. You zoom out to a 1 year, and these numbers are just ridiculous. Rocket Lab up 400%. We have GSAT up 345. We have 483% to SATS, 555 for VSAT, and last but not least, PL is up 959%. So there could be some pros to simply holding these underlyings. But if we throw UFO on here, Now you have to have the pro version to do this. You can't compare stocks with ETFs in the normal version, but that's why I like the pro version. UFO has underperformed. So you may be wondering, well, why would someone do that and not bother just holding the top 5 holdings? You could just buy the top 5 holdings, but you're taking on a lot more risk with that. UFO is going to give you that diversification. Instead of buying the top 5, you'll have 51 holdings. But with that, you do have you have less drawdown potential unless the entire sector pulls back, but you do get just that diversification that does help me sleep easier at night. Now, what I like to do is I'll hold the sector ETF like UFO and I'll pick a few of my favorites. Now, I don't put a ton of money in those because long term, I'm okay with just beating the S&P 500. It's not easy to do, and we could see a major pullback with things like memory, with things like AI, with things like space. They're really, really hot right now, and everyone's talking about them. I'm making YouTube videos about them. The performances have been absolutely amazing, but what people forget is the pullbacks, and the pullbacks can be devastating. And I truly mean that. I've seen these pullbacks where these things get super hot and they pull back 50, 60, 80%. So yeah, you invest $1,000, you have 200 left after that pullback. And then things usually will go stale at that point. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but I am giving fair warning. You have to be careful with these ETFs, and that's why I don't put a ton of money into just one thing or the other. I am well diversified with my portfolio. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, first of all, check out stock analysis with my link down below if you want that free month and that huge discount. And then check out my private circle community. It's a paid community for serious investors only. We talk about growth and income there. So I hope you guys are excited. Check those out. And if you enjoyed this video, you're going to like these that are popping up on your screen right now, including one on DRAM, which you need to see. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.